And joining us now is the Democratic Congressman from Connecticut, Jim Himes. He is the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, thanks for joining us here on the Hill on NewsNation. I want to start with the origin of COVID. As you know, it's been 3.5 years or so since the beginning of COVID. More than 1.1 million Americans died from COVID-19, and that number continues to rise. Why has it taken so long to get the information as to how all of this started and how all of this began?
Well, the reason it's taken so long is really twofold. Number one, it's hard to figure out exactly how a pandemic started, exactly where. This is true of Ebola. It's true of HIV when we were doing the early work of identifying where HIV came from. It's particularly hard when the people who are in charge of all of the science, all of the jurisdictions are not being forthcoming. And of course, the Chinese have not been open and transparent about exactly what happened inside their country. We know where it originated, but there just hasn't been the cooperation from the Chinese because clearly they regard this whole matter as something of an embarrassment. So that's the reason. And I know that that's profoundly unsatisfying for people.
Right.
But, you know, until the Chinese are fully transparent, we may never know exactly the answer of where COVID came from.
Should the Biden administration, though, declassified some of this or much of this or all of it much sooner?
I think they should. And in fact, as you probably know, in the Intelligence Committee, we took a unanimous vote requesting that the administration declassify. I think the administration is okay with that. But again, in a world of conspiracy theories, it's important for people to understand a couple of things. Number one, classification is not the issue here. If the American public could see everything that I've been able to see, we still don't know for sure. That's point number one. Point number two, like everything else in our universe, this has become massively politicized. So, there are people who are very angry at Fauci, who really are very angry at the Chinese, et cetera, and that colors their perception around what they think happened, absent, obviously, really good information. We do not know today whether this...
Yeah, no, you say we don't know, and it's interesting to hear you say that, sir. There was a big write-up over the weekend in the London Times. They basically say, and there's lots of sourcing in their article, they say this basically began in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and that is where it leaked in the fall of 2019. Here's what the London Times says, big deep dive article. They say, quote, the U.S. investigators say one of the reasons there's no published information on the work is because it was done in collaboration with researchers from the Chinese military, which was funding it and which they say was pursuing bioweapons. Is that the theory that you believe that you would sign on to, Congressman?
So that's just not accurate reporting. It's just not accurate, and that feeds into conspiracy theories that, Fauci and the NIH were trying to work with the People's Liberation Army of China to do this. We do not know. The intelligence community has different views about where this may have originated. I don't know what sources the British newspaper is quoting, but I will tell you that the United States intelligence community, upon which we spend about $80 billion a year, and so they have the resources they need, is torn between whether this originated naturally in a market or whether this may have escaped a lab like the Wuhan Institute. Now, again, this is what I was starting to say. People are letting their political beliefs color what they think happened here. So for a lot of people, it's terribly important that this involved China and Fauci. But this is science, and it could not be more serious because, as you point out, this killed 1.1 million Americans. So we need to take a deep breath, recognize that this is science, recognize that the answer may not be that answer that is politically convenient for your preconceptions, and let the scientists do their work.
The Biden administration, the White House, I've been in many of the White House briefings, Congressman, where they say, look, we need to know what happened to prevent future pandemics. And I think everyone would agree, right? We want as much information possible. So if something like this ever happens again, we've got a pretty good encyclopedia or at least enough knowledge and a foundation to try to thwart the next thing. But should we also try to get to the bottom of this so that China is held accountable? I'm wondering if you think the Biden administration needs to hold Xi Jinping and that country accountable.
Yeah, look, I think at the end of the day, we can say without reservation that the lack of transparency, the hushing up of what happened in Wuhan, the failure to cooperate with the international healthcare community is a huge danger. And the Chinese, whatever holding them accountable means, that's a word we use a lot around here, but what exactly do people mean by it? Yes, of course. We can say categorically that we need far better cooperation and transparency than we saw from the Chinese. And we hope that the next time there's a pandemic, wherever it emerges, there is far better transparency.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.